Good morning, guys. I'm Chad Graham. I'm the Next Step pastor here at Highpoint Church, and I just want to share some thoughts from our Devo reading this morning from 2 Samuel chapters 4 through 6. Now, there's a lot happening in these three chapters. There is battles, and David is anointed as king, and the Philistines are defeated, and he takes on a wife, Michal. And there's just a little part of the story where the Ark of the Covenant is returned to Jerusalem. If you blink, you miss it. I want to focus there this morning for our Devo. You see, the Ark was the container for God's presence. Wherever the Israelites went, they brought the Ark of the Covenant with them. And when they entered the Promised Land, and all throughout the time of the Judges, the presence of God was lost from the Ark. And the Ark was not what it used to be. It didn't house the presence of God because God left the presence of his people because they worshiped idols and they wanted a king and they wanted to emulate the culture around them. And so it's at this time, during the time of Samuel, that the presence of God returns to the Ark, and the Ark is returned to the capital city of Jerusalem. And this is one of the first acts as king that David does. He wants to restore God's presence to the people of Israel right there in the heart of the city where he dwells. And this is an amazing picture of a king and a righting of wrong from King Saul, where David is saying, no, we want to start with the presence of God in our city. We want to bring God into the equation again. See, Saul had started to take advice from other kings and other culture in the surrounding territory. He was consulting with mediums and witches, and we'll get to the witch of Endor here before long. And David is saying, no, this is what God was displeased with. We need to return to the Lord. We need to return to Yahweh, worshiping our God and bringing him front and center. And so he returns the Ark to Jerusalem as his first act as king. You know, sometimes in our life, we go through seasons where we may drift away from God's presence. We might get a little lax in our seeking his glory and his honor. And we might instead devote ourselves too much to even good things like family, to our own pleasures, to work. Those are all good things in the right respect. But nothing comes before God. Our worship belongs to God and God alone. And so when we worship other things, whether it be good things like work or family, we dishonor God and we disproportionately throw our lives out of balance. We have to do what David does and bring God to the forefront of our lives over and over again. This isn't a one-time thing that happens at salvation or at a camp meeting or at some special service where you really feel the presence of the Lord. This is a Christian practice to bring the presence of God near to you by drawing into his word, reading his word daily, praying, practicing spiritual disciplines that orients your heart and your affections and your mind towards God's glory and his honor. So today and during this week, as you pray and as you read through your devotions and you watch what David does, remember what David does first. He ushers in the presence of the Lord to set the tone for his kingdom. Do this for your life. Make sure when you start your day, you're praying and asking God how he would direct your steps, and invite him into your life and let him guide your steps. Again, my name is Chad Graham. I'm the Next Step pastor here at Highpoint Church. I hope you have a great day.